The poor man's mastermind. Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of masterminds before or whether you've ever been a part of one. I'm looking at a picture of myself right now and I've got a hair that's out of place. Oh well. I can see it. You can see it. Now we can get past it. Okay. So masterminds, what they are, one of the first places I ever heard about them, I'm not sure if he coined the term but he definitely made it popular, was Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich. Okay, he talks about the mastermind. He talks about this process of getting a bunch of people together that have similar backgrounds. Perhaps they all make a similar amount of money, or they all have the ability to think on a certain level. So oftentimes you'll get a bunch of people that are all business owners together, or you'll get a bunch of people who are all business owners in a particular industry together, or what have you. And you get them all in one room and you just have them discuss whatever's on their mind, whatever the problems are in life, whatever their successes are, and allow the free exchange of ideas to happen there. Now there's different ways that this can be organized, and ways that it has been organized in the past. If you've ever been part of a mastermind or multiple masterminds, you'll know that they're all a little bit different. Sometimes they have a moderator, sometimes it's just kind of a free-for-all. It all depends on how you handle it, but they're very, very useful. Oftentimes the best ones cost money. They cost money to get into, and that's to both enrich the person that's organizing it, but also to it's to basically dissuade people who aren't serious about it and aren't going to take it seriously. So you have that a lot. And so I wanted to talk about the poor man's way of masterminding, because and this isn't a replacement for masterminds. Just let me be clear. Masterminds are incredibly useful. If you've never done one, get your hand on a mastermind. Just some type of group that helps you out professionally, especially we're talking here to business owners and executives for the most part. So if you're a business owner, if you run a company, you're going to want to get involved and surround yourself with other people that think in a similar way or think at a higher level than you're used to. So that's extremely valuable. You'll never find a situation where you come out more confident or feel that you got closer to finding the truth behind a problem that you try to overcome or anything of that sort than via a mastermind. They're extremely useful. But I'm going to talk about a way that you can get one of the effects from a mastermind without actually getting involved with a mastermind. One of the great effects of a mastermind is the fact that you get to go and spill your guts and explain your scenario to somebody. Oftentimes the loneliest place in the world is the person that owns the business or runs the business, because who else are you going to talk to about these things? Yeah, you may have employees, you may have people that work with you, and you may be able to discuss some of the things with them, but there's a certain level of thought that goes into it that it's very difficult to wrap your mind around unless you're in a similar position. But once you have someone, and once you get the ability to talk these things out, oftentimes you'll find the answer to your problem as you're speaking it out. This is a phenomena that I think Dean Jackson talks about the self-milking cow, and this is a huge piece of that process. He says the thing about the cow is the cow can't milk themselves. Okay, the calf either has to come along and take the milk, or the farmer the dairyman has to come along and take the milk, but they're not going to be able to take the milk out for themselves. If they were, they'd be able to produce milk pretty regularly forever if they were able to do that, but they can't. There has to be someone pulling it out of them. And the same thing's true of us, in the fact that we oftentimes need somebody to pull the answers out of us, to ask us the right questions, and to kind of pull what we already know somewhere in there, how to fix it. We know that we can fix things, but you need somebody to go through that process with you. And having a person to talk that out with you makes a big difference. Just one person, but a mastermind's great because you got a whole bunch of people and they're all asking questions and they're all kind of pulling it out of you. And if you're sitting there with a whiteboard, or you're sitting there sketching it out, or doodling on a notepad, oftentimes you'll come to the right answer. And I've seen catharsis happen at these masterminds before, because it's so clear. Once I said it, and once I got shown that there's only two answers here, and I know I've got to choose one of those, whatever it is. That's the important thing. So you're saying, but what's the answer? What's the answer? If you're not going to do a mastermind, how else would you do it? You need to have somebody that you can hire, or a friend that you can bring in to have this discussion with on a regular basis. I've been able to do this in my own life. I've got producer Sean Douglas, who produces these video podcasts and all of our audio podcasts. He handles everything on the back end. We talk on a weekly basis at least, but oftentimes multiple times a week, where we just throw all this stuff out there, and it allows me to come to the conclusions I need to come to. He's able to do the same. We record them. We go back over them once in a while when necessary. It's changed my business so large you can't imagine how much I've been able to move forward because I've had Sean there to be able to help me through the process, along with everyone else that I've worked with. But especially having someone that understands you and where you're coming from and what your thought processes are is very, very helpful. If you don't have someone like that, you got to hire it out. You got to go and find someone. And what do you type into Google to find someone? Where do you go look in the yellow pages for someone like that? I don't know. I don't know exactly even how to discuss this in most cases without giving you this type of grand scenario. If this kind of describes you, though, if you think you might be in the market of having somebody to at least walk with you once a week on all of your ideas, on all of your problems that are in the way, just to get you to organize it, to get it out on paper and to start figuring these things out. If you just want somebody, a sounding board, if you will, to be able to listen and ask questions where necessary, I've heard of people doing this before, but I will offer my services out to you. If we are a good fit, I'd be willing to do that with you. The first step I'm going to recommend is go to brianjpombo.com/Amazon. Sign up for the Amazon Proof Strategy session. And once we've gone through that, if it looks like it's going to be a good fit, we could set up something more regularly and really make it worth your while. Really make it to where it's going to be valuable for you and at a price that would work for you. Because I know what it's done for me. So if I can help pass that along to you, I'd be happy to do it. Go check that out. That's the Amazon Proof Strategy session. It's at brianjpombo.com/Amazon. That link is in the description. Get yourself a sounding board, whether it's me, whether it's somebody else. Get yourself somebody that'll listen to you and let you talk your thoughts out. You have a great night. We'll be back here tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.